You live and you learn. Why is the light so dim in here? I had to get away. How's everybody doing? Oh, I hope well. I mean, some people have lost their fucking minds, but it's cool. you know, as long as you have a choice to stay. Anywho, feels like Friday night. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I know it's just not me. Stuff's not adding up. Like, things are different in the air, the time, and all that stuff. It just everything's off. And I know it's not normal, but I know that it's not just by chance. I'm no fool, you know, at all whatsoever. I'm not one of those people that I don't believe that. Yeah, you're tripping. No. Usually when you think you're tripping or people think you're tripping, no, you're not. You're just one of those people that are very in tune with everything around you, as other people sleep, like literally while they're awake. Yeah, true story. Anywho, I just came over here because, I was like, well, it's not midnight yet. And even if it was midnight, who cares? Who cares? Um, every day is a learning lesson, enlightening. I tell you, you take a wrong, a bad, or something that reminds you of a bad, and you get out there and you run like hell. It's like, no. You take it and you learn from it, you dust your shit off, and you get back up and you go. That's what I have learned in my time of being a woman. You can sit around and cry about some shit, or you could just be a really big BIT stage, or you could just never learn and keep repeating the same shit over and over and over again, or keep moving. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that we have opportunities and chances to make choices for ourselves. People will try to gaslight you all up and down the road to make it seem like you're crazy and that's slash narcissist. And you know what I mean? I'm telling you, I've been taking this week, I've been perturbed by certain things. I'm like, where did this come from? And I'm like, no, 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 no. This isn't so. I don't know. Sometimes you just gotta sit down and think about some stuff. Like a lot of times, I would do that, especially after I was working at the school because that's a lot of that's a lot of stuff. You gotta come home and like undownload or like download onto something else. I'm gonna tell you guys something trippy right now, and you might trip, and I hope you do. But don't be like them other people that be like they don't believe anything. Look, I tell people this. You said there's a dinosaur coming outside? I was like, okay. I said, if I see the dinosaur, there he goes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just discredit everything. Some people, ever had a person like you tell them something, and these days it could be the simplest thing that even a baby, a toddler, an infant, a newborn, okay, but being birthed right then and there could see. And they'd be like, that's silly. You know what I mean? People like that have no concept of nothing of what goes on. They believe anything. They say we got to do this. They'll do anything the government tells them to do. Put it like that, and believe that they do it's in their best interest. I don't understand those people. They would scare me. Hands down, I'm not even lying. People like that scare the hell out of me. I don't know if they scare me or I feel sorry for them. It's kind of a little mixture of both. I don't want to say what I really think, but I don't have that filter. I can't help it. You know what I mean? My mom used to always tell me that, and that's all right, because I can't be fake. I can't. Sorry, I'm gonna tell you. If I don't tell you, my face is gonna tell you. That's for darn sure. I'm very sincere when it comes to how I feel. But that's what I was saying, though. So about the whole energy and downloading, like right now, right? I was just talking about how I have to like get home and like get all, start processing all the stuff that you like talked about that day, or just go over your day. It's like a go over, like we should do with our lives and stuff like that. Sit down and have a review. I always do that. I always check with myself. I have no problem. Who else is going to do it better than me? Like I'm supposed to. I'm not scared of myself. Some people are scared to deal with themselves. No, I had parents that were very supportive of that type of stuff. So, what I was saying, so download. So, if you ever hear somebody say, hold on, getting a download, and sometimes we think they're playing, right? Maybe they are, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But if you didn't know this, how far are you willing to go to find out if this is true? And you don't really have to go too far. I'm pretty sure you've done this before, or, they taught it to you, school, you know? Like, just, well, these days you're pressing buttons now, so it makes a lot of sense. But information's not that far away. Just don't always go with the first set of information. First of all, I'm going to say some things that people might not like. Google, she's nosy as hell, and she don't be telling the truth, and she knows it. I asked Google, I said, do you be lying? Do you be telling me the truth? And she said, well, we should ask her right now. She says some stuff, but let me stay on topic. Um, so we get downloads. And it all makes sense when you study. And I mean, this is this type of stuff I live for. It's not philosophy, Alan Watts. Not all science, but more like philosophy and I guess you say astrology. I think that's what it is. But just basically anything that has to do with the human brain and the connection of the universe, the world. So we get downloads because you remember now. Was that Tesla? What how you can manipulate those numbers, because everything's like, that's why they call it the matrix, like numbers and stuff. But nobody believes it because they have this blocked here, and they've been completely indoctrinated, and they didn't were not left any room to see the light. Pay close attention. Now remember this: the numbers. Of course, we cannot see them if we're not trying to see them. But remember, these two here are just our eyes, right? Like just our eyes, right? They see all these numbers and stuff. They have no idea what's going on. They're like, what the hell is it? But remember, our body talks to, when we move our leg, what does it do? Brain talks to, they communicate. That's just amazing. And yet we're over here acting like we have not much going on but to run, to live in this jacked up economy. Like, I'd rather learn about this stuff all day long, because with knowledge is power, then we can escape from this hellhole. But what do I know? Just life. So, brain, eye communicates with the brain. Like, let me shoot it up here to my friend Brain because he's so smart. And then the illusion, the holograms made. So we don't see numbers anymore, and that's what with the pineal gland. You know, it's deep stuff. It's amazing stuff. Kind of makes you not want to doubt that you had a creator. But hey, what do I know? Don't you guys just find that fascinating though? I do. I'm a nerd and I embrace it. But see, that's the type of stuff that gets me. Like, I like walks on the beach, chill, I like intelligence, like anybody would. Someone that can hold a deep conversation. Someone that's not what's the word I'm looking for? Triggered or threatened by, or I don't even know what it is, but it's kind of pathetic, by a woman's ability to her intelligence. I don't know, because I've never walked around and made anybody feel like a dummy. You know what I mean? So to me, I don't get that type of, sounds like need some counseling there, brother. But what do I know? Just myself. But I want the opposite of that, and I've had it. So that's how I know when I'm connecting with someone, when we are able to hold those conversations, and you're not trying to tell me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, when it's clear that I'm versed in what I'm talking about. But yeah, so my point being is you shouldn't really should be more voiceful into, words have energy, and nowadays, these words they throw around, which, yeah, I don't know if we give them too much power, but or where these people were hidden for so long, they've just always been there. But narcissists, gaslighters. It's like the hottest shit. They're like just like living their best life these days, right? Right out in the open, and then you kind of gotta be like, wait a minute, I think I heard of this. You know what I mean? Because you wouldn't have a clue if you hadn't had any a little bit of information or knowledge of what a narcissist is, right? So I think it was 2020 when people start talking about the narcissist more, coming out, talking about marriages and stuff like that, and giving people like actual survival guides of how to navigate for real a narcissist because they're a piece of work, right? Yeah, they are. But the tricky one is spotting one. And even trickier, I don't think they know they're narcissists all the time, do they? So therefore, what if you have a narcissist that knows they're a narcissist, but they're trying to pretend like they're not? And you're onto them, but you're like, nah, don't doubt that intuition. Hey, don't mind me just putting the pieces of the puzzle together. So, how you doing? Yeah, have you had any experience? I don't know. I started off talking about well, the universe. I'm pretty sure you see my lives before I talk a little about everything. But I was talking about energy and how, like, if you ever hear somebody say, hold on, I'm downloading that information. That's a real thing because that's how thoughts come to us. In actuality, we think we come up with these grandiose ideas like, I just found I'm going to create electricity. You really got to download. There's really some going on, and it's the energy. It's not really. I mean, think about it. Where would we pull that energy from? I just always wonder where information people were getting, where it came from. Like when you see stuff on TV, I'm like, where are they getting this? And just certain stuff. But I seen a study, and then hottest topic and truth going on these days is the pineal gland, and then the eyes, and how I think that was Tesla, right? Was it Tesla with the correct me if I'm wrong because I know it might not be him. I think it is. How the matrix, basically the numbers and stuff, how he could kind of like manipulate or manifest. Just I'm not really good at numbers or math, so yeah. But how the eyes actually see that way. Our eyes actually see all those, but the third eye is the one that takes in the it's kind of like the behind the eyes are sending the information to the brain, so the brain can register it and then give out the image or the hologram, whatever it may be. Some probably would say, okay, well, if that's the case, then if your pineal gland or your third eye has been hidden, or we've been, we haven't really tapped in because of all the stuff we've been through. We've been indoctrinated, brainwashed, all that stuff on purpose. So, but with that being said, I think it still does its job as far as sending, you know what I mean? But we're just not aware. Big difference. It's doing its thing, but we haven't tapped in yet. And I was getting deeper and deeper. I can't even send anybody any of this information um, that I stumbled upon, and I just knew it was like meant to be when I ran across this because these are thoughts I already have, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm thinking this all. Being able to talk our brain, because we're made of energy, right? So all the things that they're out here doing with people who don't believe with technology and transferring data consciousness into another, it's so freaking real that it's creepy as hell. And then it kind of pisses me off at the same time, but more creepier than anything. Because I told somebody, I said, this is the reason why it's hard to believe these things. I'll tell you exactly why someone will refuse to believe it. Not because they have a lack of imagination, which most likely they do. It's because we've been programmed to think those things can only happen on television. Because if we had no insight of this stuff at all, it probably would be a little like, what's this? But since we've been programmed and desensitized to it, we've seen it. Oh, we've seen it. But that's only on television. Get it? Expose them to it, but make them doubt it because that's TV stuff. So, I mean, they need to up their game because they're really getting old. But yeah, so we get signals and stuff like that. But I remember telekinesis was a thing. Like I've never doubted any of that stuff because if I don't know, then I can't really debunk it or say it's not true. Like if somebody tells me they saw an alien or they saw a ghost, I wouldn't even say the average person, but society most likely would say, "You stupid. What's wrong? You ain't seen no ghost." I always say like, "How do you know? Those ain't real. How do you know?" You know what I mean? And people like that don't really. I question people like that because I'm like, you just, how do you know that? See, I can't answer that because I haven't seen one. So just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not real. See, that's how people want, and that's how they want people to think, so people can throw each other off. Nobody believes anything. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. But yeah, this is the stuff that runs through my brain. This is what the life of Brandy's head. So if you ever want to know, tickets are going on sale. Yeah, this is the type of stuff one would have to that would come along with me. If you know what I mean, like this is part of me. It's who I am. And anybody that will ever try to change it, suppress it, or tell it to be different, they can, kiss it where the good sun doesn't shine. Admit that from the bottom of my heart. Mm. I don't know. I just a lot of stuff been on my mind, which is not a bad thing. People need to have stuff on their mind. Think about some stuff. Stop worrying about everybody else stuff. Worry about yourself. Okay? Don't worry about me. I'm good. Okay? My mom and dad did a great job. I've been floating along here, fine and dandy so far, and I've been working out. But yeah, just been doing a little thinking. I'll be 43 this year. I don't know how this one's gonna be. There's always usually some sense of like I always tell people like it's hard to describe unless you're a woman. And there's something about the 40s. Let me just tell you something right now. That's not the first time I heard it, but didn't need to hear it because I'm living it. But to me, the 40s are like kind of like 18 and then like 21. And there are some doctors that are psychiatrists and stuff that said that like it was a very significant time in a woman's life. There's no midlife crisis. There's some people might have them, and let me just clear this up for some people that think they're doctors, especially since 2021. There are cases of some women having menopause a lot earlier than the average. I worked with a teacher that I was older than her, and she had already had her menopause. And right now I'm 42. Back then, it was like 39. So I don't know how much younger she was than me, but she had already had hers. Those rare things happen. I know of kids that were getting their periods like at seven, like 8 or 9. And they had to go get hormone thingies, whatever. I think a lot of times it's stuff that we put in our bodies. Yeah, half that's majority of it actually. Damn near eating poison. But what was I saying? But yeah, yeah, I think so a lot of things go through my mind, and I don't mind sharing them because maybe I can help somebody feel okay with themselves, or if they thought something, because I know what it feels like to be just have things go on with you as a person, let alone a woman that might be feeling a certain type of way and find out that the next woman probably felt that way too. And to somebody else, it might not even be a big deal, but they're irrelevant. They don't matter. Remember, they're not in their lane. They're too busy. If you have enough time to talk about somebody else's shit, that means you're not dealing with your stuff. And that goes for anybody that's got anything to say that I didn't ask them to say to, or anybody else. Worry about you. Your plans for you might not work for everybody else. So That's why I understand people. I'm like, I don't be, do you, boo boo? Whatever. But look, I'm good. I'm gonna stay me, be me all day long, and thank God for me, because if it wasn't me, there'd be one less person on this planet that gives a fuck about people's children and other people. See, we gotta start being grateful for people. I found that to be deep right now, but that's just me. Good job, Randy. But no, seriously, so yeah, and I'm saying this because I remember times when I was younger and I was so ashamed or embarrassed of stuff. Like I remember when I started growing boobs, you know what I mean? And I was on patrol and I was like, I don't want anybody to see my bra. What do we do? So I thought the best next option was to take it off and shove it in my backpack. I don't know how that was gonna help. And then like as I got older, here comes menstruating, right? And that went on forever. I was like, oh my God, I have to like grab these things off the shelf. I don't want nobody to see this. So my mom would like make me go. She'd be like, "Go get your stuff," and I'd be like, and so I would go get them, and then I find out what aisle she was in, and I go real fast. I just chuck them in there, and I keep going. I was so embarrassed. Like just like stuff in general, just like have developing body parts and stuff. People Googling at them and stuff. It just wasn't for a good time. So I can just imagine those times like that doesn't go away. Like they just evolve. Like you have other issues now. You're older. Those are, but you still have them. So there's some uncomfortabilities and all that stuff. So what I'm saying is, the more we talk about these things, the more someone else might want to talk about theirs or something like that. I don't know. So many people walk around this world today not saying what they feel or anything like that because a lot of people like to walk around saying they don't care. So, you know what I mean? So I'm here to go ahead and t- tell them for you personally to fuck off. And I'm here if you ever need to talk or for anybody at that point that makes that where people feel like they can't be themselves or have anybody to listen to them because they're made to feel like something's wrong with them or that's stupid or that's this and that's that. And that's to be honest with you, that's stupid actually. Because we should have more awareness in that as human beings to actually go out of your way to make sure that that's not you. All I'm saying, and I'm going to keep saying that because let me tell you something. If that's not the case and you feel like well, people should be too sensitive, well, how about this? How about try that on for size when you got these people dealing with your children? So you don't care so much about caring about people's feelings and having respect for it, but let alone you want to be respected, then God forbid that these people deal with your children and then don't have any empathy, care, or kindness, then your child comes home crying every day because you don't give a shit. So treat people how you want to be treated. Yeah. So you might want to start giving a shit. You know? I was telling somebody that all right, so check this out. Okay. So there's this app, right, called Clapper. It's kind of like TikTok. Actually, it's a safe haven from TikTok. Oh, I can't. Oh my gosh. Let me just tell you. Things Clapper. I got verified, 2 days ago in two different groups. So it's about to go down. But okay, so today, I think it was yesterday, I think I was in there with, in a live with, Mr. Too Extra. And he had somebody in his group. This man kind of confused us a little bit. But he, if it was a he, was having some concerns. And then, I had just came in afterwards. So I don't even know how we on this topic of black folks when this person here, we're black. But okay, we'll roll with it. What do you want to, let's talk about it. He has a lot of issues with Black History Month. Really, really perturbs him. He just can't understand why we would have such a thing that would cause separation. Blew me out the water. I was like, I really, to me, I didn't really get that. I was just like, look, dude, there's so many other things that could be a problem. I mean, black people don't even find it all that great. When you sit here upset because how does that bother you? Like, don't think about it. The government doesn't care. They never think about it. Nobody's going around throwing up balloons or anything. It's up to black people to decide if they want to do anything for, what I mean? If everybody decided they didn't want to, they probably just wouldn't have it. Nobody, black people don't even really, you know? But to say that, we still, you know what I mean? Not it's not that we're not bothered by it. We just know it's bullshit. And we know that there's no such thing. That was created. There's no day, no month that should tell you when you can learn your history, celebrate your history. That's just one of those things that I would say recognized, but it's not even recognized. It's just there. Just like Juneteenth. Came and went. Only thing that anybody's going to benefit off that day or even be happy about is if they get paid for that day. Because that's all it is. It's taking those things like that and capitalizing off of it. So whatever, but I didn't understand why he was so perturbed by it. Like anything that you could say that good, we got you in your undies in a bunch. You want to do away Black History Month. Now check this out, guys. The only problem I don't even have a problem with. The only thing that I have a problem with that right there with him is that I don't understand how it's affecting him. you know? Shit.